The session is now being recorded. So for today, I would be discussing the introduction, no, to dynamic routing protocol. So when we say dynamic routing protocol, it is more on the automation, or the role of the dynamic routing protocol is for uh, um, automating things. Kasi later, we will be comparing yung static sa tinatawag natin na dynamic. But you can tell the difference, no? When ang dynamic routing protocol kasi it is used sa mga malalaking network. And if you want to get rid yung mga manual things, you need to choose dynamic routing protocol. And now, to understand this, we need to describe yung mga metrics and as well as yung ano ba yung administrative distance and as well as the different elements, no, of the routing protocol. Ito yung dynamic routing protocol actually. As you can notice, one of the function of the dynamic routing protocol is to share information, but it is between routers, no? Now, ang pinaka siguro masasabi natin, no, na advantage of dynamic routing protocol ay in terms of scalability. Pag scalability ang pinag-uusapan, it can be used, no, for further expansion. Okay? So for further expansion, no. So that's why it automatically updates yung ating routing table, particularly when topology changes. It also determines the best path to a certain destination. Now, what is the purpose of the dynamic? Now, if you want remote network or remote connection, and we can do that using the virtual private network, we can use the dynamic routing protocol. Kasi one of the features of this is to maintain up-to-date routing information, and as well, the job of the router is to find or to choose the best path. When let's say, the current path is not available due to unseen circumstances, you can uh, choose the alternate. No? So that's why it will determine the best path. No? Kaya the ability to find a new best path if the current path is no longer available, just like what I have said. Now, what is the operation of the routing protocol? It is when you say the router, that the job of the router is to send packets, no, from one point to another, or we call it exchanging routing information. So take note of the diagram. As you can notice, this is the 172.16.1.0/24. Yan yung tinatawag na source. While the destination, if you are coming from R1, is the 3.0. Now, the link connection is 2.0. So, what is the obvious? /24, meaning to say, uh, example, the R1 is connected to the LAN 1. The LAN 1 has 254 users, as well as the R2, which has 254 users. Now, ang nakikita natin na problema sa static, later mali-discuss natin, no, is yung hindi mo siya waga hindi siya ganun kasi hindi siya ganun ka-open for expansion, unlike for the dynamic routing protocol. Why? Because there are components of routing protocol na nakakatulong, no, to make it available to determine the best path. And one is the algorithm. So algorithm is used, no, for facilitating routing information. So nakikita ng ating algorithm yung best path. So what is the protocol here? To discover yung nearest neighbor o yung pinakamabilis na paraan in such a way that you can send packets, no, from one point to another. Now, since we are dealing with dynamic routing protocol, we need to compare, no? So, hindi siya maiiwasan na ikumpara si static and saka si dynamic. So, ano ba si static? Most likely si static can be used for if you want security, easy to manage because it is just a small network, no? Manageable, easy to configure. Now, one of the disadvantage of the static is in terms of scalability. For example, if you want to expand your network, convert from small to large, so cannot be used in large topologies because the static routing requires manual reconfiguration by using the command, yung IP route command. Okay? So this is the uh, routing protocols. As you can notice, in terms of the hierarchy, the dynamic routing protocol is composed of the interior gateway and the exterior gateway. Actually, when I will, if we can drag, no, ano ba yung mga under ng distance vector and link state protocol? So example na sa distance, yung ating tinatawag natin ng mga RIP, later I will be discussing, no? RIP is Routing Information Protocol, no? Is an example of a distance vector protocol. Okay? Meron din tayong tinatawag na IGRP, EIGRP. Then link state, we have OSPF, ISIS, BGP is for the exterior, so on and so forth. Now, ano ba yung autonomous system? Kapag ang autonomous system kasi, ibig sabihin yan, yung mga interconnecting routers na makita natin sa diagram. Ito yun, guys, no? Let's say the autonomous 100. Yung mga protocols under the autonomous system 100, yun yung mga interior gateway protocols. As well, yung mga protocols under naman sa autonomous system 200, ito naman yung mga interior gateway protocols. Now, if you will connect two autonomous system, and the link that are the protocol that are connecting to uh, autonomous system is exterior gateway protocol, and that is the border gateway protocol. Now, what are the examples of interior gateway? Andyan yung RIP, IGRP, EIGRP, OSPF, and ISIS. So, yun yung mga dapat nating maintindihan pagdating sa routing protocol. Later, I would be demonstrating yung activity for the routing information protocol. Now, okay, what else? So, the interior gateway protocol used for inside autonomous system. Example is the route information, EIRGAP, yan ay mga routing protocols. Now, yung exterior, ito naman yung nagko-connect ng dalawang autonomous system, and that is the border gateway protocol. Okay, ito yung comparison natin, no, ng in terms of interior gateway, nahahati yan sa distance vector and link state. When we say distance vector, ito naman yung through distance and direction. For example, ang mga metrics niyan, yung mga hops, number of what do you call this, the number of hops, number of counts, o yung tinatawag na ano pala na bandwidth, no? Link state naman, ito naman yung ano, you are viewing the complete network topology. So we will be discussing yan, no? Since this is just an introduction to dynamic routing protocol. Now, if we classify this, this is the routing protocol. Imagine this, no? Kada routers may mga link connections tayo, no? From R1 to R2, R2 to R3, R2 to R4. Now, link state protocols pass updates when a link state changes. Okay. Also, as well as no, we're discussing the classification of routing protocol. So we already know that Classful use the first octet, do not send subnet mask. So sino yung gumagamit ng subnet mask for routing update? That is the classless. Example of that, yung nakikita nyo na classless sa LAN, sa network, sa figure number 2 sa baba, no? Nakikita nyo naka/27. So ibig sabihin, nababari natin yung subnet mask. And also, the host is also varied. Unlike the classful routing protocol, we are just using fixed value. Pwedeng /8, /16, /24. So we are using the first value of the octet to determine the subnet mask. We call it default mask. So again, yan yung dalawang classification ng ating routing protocol. Now, in terms of state of consistency or yung tinatawag na reliability as well, na kahit ilang trials mo ay almost or same yung output na nakikita niyo dito, Convergence yun, no? As you can notice, ang mataas ang convergence is the EIGRP and the OSPF. And the slower convergence is the RIP and IGRP. Now, ito yung mga parameters, lalo na kapag sa distance vector, no, yung metrics, yung number of hops. So imagine nyo from R1 to R2, isa yung hop mo. But from R1 to R3, may dalawang hop. So ayan ay tinatawag by hops, number of hops. Okay, isang metric yan. So ano ba yung mga metrics using IP routing protocols? Actually, hindi lang naman hops. May tinatawag din na bandwidth, cost, delay, reliability, load. Now, si RIP, tandaan nyo, chooses the shortest path. Tandaan nyo, RIP chooses the shortest path using hop count, while the OSPF chooses the shortest path via bandwidth. So, may mga tinatanong dyan kung ilang kilobit per second o bandwidth yun, no? So, pero kung number of hops, that is RIP. Usually si RIP, most likely ginagamit yan sa mga mas maliliit na network, no? But if you want automated, pero kung mas malalaki, I would prefer OSPF. Okay? Kasi yun yung mga nagagamit talaga, no? Anyway, ito, dito sa routing metric, routing protocol metric, you can notice that the metric used for each routing protocol, no? So we have RIP or hop count, bandwidth used sa IGRP and EIGRP, and as well as ISIS and OSPF. So ginagamit yung mga yan as routing protocol metrics. No? Okay? So now for load balancing, which is also one of the feature of the routing protocol metric. So tinitingnan dito yung distributing packets, no, with multiple same cost paths. Dapat pare-parehas, no? Equal cost path. That is the priority doon sa load balancing. No? And one parameter also that we need to consider is as well as the administrative distance. Ito yung ginagamit to determine the best path. So that is, kaya meron tayong metric. Halimbawa ng metric ka kanina yung hops. Halimbawa ng metric yung bandwidth. Halimbawa ng metric yung load balancing. So, yun yung mga example ng metric na ginagamit to determine the best path. Now, what is administrative distance? Ngayon, nagkakaroon tayo ng administrative distance kapag nagkakaroon tayo ng numeric value na nag-specify ng particular route. Halimbawa, sa case na ito, let's say, ito yung R1, yung pinanggalingan ng 1.0. Then itong R3, for example, yung 3.0. So nagkaroon tayo ng administrative distance. Ito yung preference or particular route. Ito yung pupuntahan niya. So ito yung AD90. Ngayon, yung kabila naman, from R3 to R2, for example, this is R2, yung 7.0, no? Gumagamit ng administrative distance. Okay? So, where R1 and R3 do not speak the same routing protocol. No? Kasi magkakaiba. Let's say, ito sa AD90, EIGRP pa lang ginagamit nila. Dito naman is RIP. So, nagkakaroon tayo ng administrative distance. Ito yung particular route na pupuntahan. No? Okay? So, yun yung basically the importance. Now, identifying the administrative distance, it is the first number in the bracket in the routing table. So you can notice here, no? If you type the show IP route doon sa ating ano, nag-command tayo, makikita nyo dito no, yung D na 6.0. Okay, ano ba yung 6.0 na yan, no? So yung 6.0 na yan, ah makikita nyo dito, no, from here. Okay, so meron tayo ditong 4 to ito, no? So you can notice, no, yung as well as the 8.0, sorry, yung 8.0, ayun. Ayun, no? Makita niyo yung connection yan. Okay, yan naman yung database. So we are identifying the number in the brackets. Okay, what else? These are the routing protocols. Yan yung mga AD. Usually, pag RIP 120, 90 is EIGRP. Mga ano yan, default settings. RIP is 120. Pag internal, 90. Kapag external ng EIGRP, 170. Okay, kapag ISIS 115, so yan ay mga tinatawag natin na default TD. Ang static is 1. Okay, so take note of the dynamic routing protocols, no? Now, a static route of 1, kaya makikita niyo yung distance 1 kasi yan yung default value niya. Ngayon, kapag nakita mo doon sa iba, let's say 120, RIP yun, no? Pag 90, EIGRP internal. Okay? Pag directly connected routes, 0. AD of 0. No? Kasi, example, kung gumamit ka ng serial, that the metric is 0. You can do that by typing the show IP route and the destination network. So makikita mo yung kanyang administrative distance, no? Okay, now, dito no, as you notice, the directly connected routes immediately appear in the routing table as soon as the interface is configured. This is one of the commands when you type the show IP route using the command line interface. So makikita mo dito yung connection, no? At yung ginagamit natin na directly connected routes. Now, in summary, para bago tayo mag-proceed sa laboratory, ang dynamic routing protocol, one of the purpose is to dynamically share information that is between the routers, automatically updating routing table, and determining the best path. And that is the job of the router. No? Now, in comparison with the static routing, I think one of the advantage of dynamic routing protocol is yung kanyang scalability and as well yung applicability for large network. Unlike for static, the static routing is more on applicable for smaller networks. But in terms of manageability, in terms of configuration or easy configuration or simple access, I think you can choose static routing. No? Now, the routing protocol, as we already know, uh, from the dynamic routing, we have interior and exterior. The interior gateway protocols, we can call it autonomous systems. If two autonomous systems are interconnected, this is called exterior gateway protocol. And that protocol is the border gateway protocol or the BGP. Now, ano yung mga types of interior gateway? May tinatawag tayo na classless and classful. Pag sinabing classless, we use the subnet mask to determine the uh, the number of hosts and at yung kanyang uh, subnet mask, no? Kapag naman classful, naka-fixed. We follow the classless. No, yung class A from 1 to 126, class B from 128 hanggang 191, and class C is 192 hanggang 223. Most likely, yun naman ang ginagamit. Now, metrics, ito yung ginagamit na parameter, no? To calculate the best path. So, example nga niyan, yung tinatawag natin na number of hops. Isa dyan yung number of destination, okay, or number of hops, no? Ano pa ba yung example niyan? Yung OSPF, o yung ano pala, yung load, yung delay, etc. No? Okay, administrative distance, ito yung, kumbaga, ito yung particular location or ito yung router's trustworthiness. Halimbawa, naka-default naman yan eh. Kapag AD is 90, usually EIGRP, internal, no? 120 is for the RIP. And then as well as the components of routing table, we have the route source, administrative distance, and metric. Yan yung mga dapat natin maintindihan pagdating sa summary. Okay? So, I think that ends the lecture, no, for the dynamic routing protocol.